Hey my friends, welcome to Joystick. In this video, I will tell you how to do data type conversion in Pandas, more specifically on a Pandas data frame. So without further ado, let's start learning how to do data type conversion in Pandas. I am in my Jupyter notebook now, where you can see I have already imported Pandas and NumPy. This is the data which we'll be working on, which is the real world stock transaction data. Let's quickly convert this into a Pandas data frame. So we create a new data frame df equals to pd.dataframe within brackets data. We print our data frame now. Let's execute this code block and there we have our data frame ready. So before we begin about learning data conversion in Pandas, I would like to tell you something about this data frame. It's that transaction ID is stored as strings but should be integers for numerical operations. Price is again stored as strings, but it should be float for calculations. And date is again stored as strings, but it needs to be converted to date time for time series analysis. So now we look into a function astype, which is the simplest way to convert data types in Pandas. So we begin with converting transaction ID into integer data type. So we write df within square brackets within single quotes transaction ID equals to df within square brackets within single quotes transaction ID again dot as type within whose brackets we'll write int. And let's also convert price column to float. Okay, so let's do that. So it will be df within square brackets within single quotes price equals to df within square brackets within single quotes price again dot as type, and within its brackets it will be float. Now we see the data types of the columns of our data frame. So to do that, what we are going to do, we will write df dot dtypes and we run the entire code block, and there you go. You can see transaction ID is now integer and the data type of price has converted into float. While doing this, you need to ensure that all values in the column that you are converting can be converted. Otherwise, Pandas will throw a value error. We explore another method now, apply, using which we can do more complex conversions that require custom logic. Now let's convert codes in the stock column to lowercase and handle missing values by replacing them with the string unknown. So we are going to write over here df within square brackets within single quotes stock equals to df within square brackets within single quotes stock again dot apply, within whose brackets we'll write lambda x colon x dot lower if is instance function, within whose brackets we'll write x comma str else within double quotes unknown. So if any element within the stock column is an instance of a string, then it will be converted to lowercase, else the label unknown will appear. All right, if we print the df now, you can see that the missing values have been replaced with unknown and all stock codes are converted to lowercase. There is another method, convert underscore dtypes, which helps you automatically infer object columns types. Let's see this in action. But before we use this function, we'll have to have our original data frame back. So I'm going to come above and I will rerun this data and then I'm going to recreate my data frame. So my data frame is back, you can see. And I'm going to go down here. Let's check the data types of the columns of my original data frame. So it will be df dot dtypes. You can see that other than quantity, all the columns have object as their data type. Now let's write df equals to df dot convert underscore dtypes. Right. Let's execute this code block. Now we are going to check the data types of the columns again. So it will be df dot dtypes. I execute this code block again and there you go. You see This function convert underscore dtypes has analyzed all the columns of the data frame and has converted them to appropriate types. I don't know why it converted float into int for quantity. Maybe because all these quantities do not have any digit after the decimal. Let's now learn about the errors parameter. So I have another set of data. I'm going to call it data1 this time. Let me run this code block and let me quickly create a data frame from it. So it will be df1 equals to pt dot data frame, and within brackets it will be data1. Okay, let me print that. There you go. You can see that the quantity column has an invalid value. So data type conversion can fail if there are incompatible values within a column. Okay, there is one incompatible value over here. So now if we want to convert the quantity columns data type into float, how am I going to do it? We have a solution for that in Pandas. So we'll write df1 within square brackets, within single quotes, it will be quantity equals to pt dot to underscore numeric function, within whose brackets we'll write df1 within square brackets, within single quotes, quantity comma errors parameter, whose value will be coerced within single quotes. Let me execute this code block and let me print df1 as well. You can see that by using the value coerce for the errors parameter within the to underscore numeric function, the incompatible value within the quantity column has been replaced with NaN. It didn't break the code execution. And with this, we have come to the end of this video. Now that you have learned data type conversion in Pandas, check out my Pandas course playlist to learn Pandas in depth. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take very good care of yourself.